I'll do some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
This is my boomstick. Here's Johnny.
I have to return some videotapes.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Hello and welcome to a fully legalised episode of All Things Horror. I am your host Ben and I'm joined here with my co-host Matt, and if you are new to the show, each week we choose a movie to break down and review. We give it our honest opinions and rate it from 1 to 10. We have a brief spoiler-free chat about the movie before we head into the plot and discuss our favourite and least favourite parts of the film. And if you stick around until the end, we finish with some interesting trivia and a fun little game that I created. This week we're going to be discussing The Purge from 2013, and the synopsis goes as follows. James Sandin and his family retire for the night in their gated home in California. An intruder causes trouble and lands them in The Purge, a 12-hour period where all criminal activities are legalized. This is written and directed by James DeMonaco, with a full cast of Ethan Hawke, Lena, Headey, I don't know.
I think Headey. I used to always think it was Headley.
Yeah.
Headey. I even when I was watching her on Game of Thrones, I still thought it was Headley for ages, and then like years later, I was like, I've been calling her Headley. It's like I've been calling her Crandall. It's like I'm like Homer. Yeah, I think it's Headey, isn't it?
Lena, Headey, Adelaide, Kane, and Rhys, Wakefield. Total runtime of 1 hour and 25 minutes, and I think it's just available on Prime. So yeah,
I watched it on Prime.
Oh, okay. I was on the fence on whether to cover this or not because I weren't sure, and I'm still not sure if this is actually like qualifies as horror. It's more of like a thriller kind of home invasion type film.
Yeah, I guess it's a Blumhouse film. They're predominantly horror. I guess it's a kind of, like you say, peril, kind of horror feeling, you know, like being in danger. That there's some violence, but like I guess you could say it was action, couldn't you?
I guess, yeah. I mean, it has horrific moments. It's a few good kills, but yeah, I think the overall premise of it kind of sets it up for being a scary-ish film. So I guess it passes. Yeah.
I was just looking what they described it as online, and it's a dystopian action horror film.
Oh right. Oh okay.
So yeah, it's not just an action horror film; it's a dystopian. This is probably where everything was called dystopian for a period of time because of like Hunger Games and things like that.
Without giving away any spoilers, and I know we'll kind of wrap it up exactly what we think later on when we do our little review. But overall, how did you feel about this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it?
Do you know what? I was like, it's okay. Like, it's a funny one because I'd heard of it. I'd never had any kind of feeling towards watching it. But I like Ethan Hawke. I've watched quite a few Blumhouse films and quite enjoyed them. Not all of them, but some of them, like Happy Death Day and things like that, I quite enjoyed this and the second one and a few of the others. And if anything that was going to make me watch this, it was after I saw The Black Phone, because I was like, I'm a massive Ethan Hawke fan. I've always liked Ethan Hawke, right back from Reality Bites and Before Sunrise. And he played such a different character in even Dead Poets Society and Explorers. Like, I remember watching Explorers when I was like 9 in school, when they used to roll the big TV into the hall. So, like, I'm a massive fan of Ethan Hawke. So he was the reason for watching it. I think Lena Headey's a good actor. And I like the idea that this is done so well. It's like another small budget one. I like films like Don't Breathe. I thought that was a good film that's kind of similar. Or even Assault on Precinct 13 being like trapped. I like things that are in one location if they're done well. So to answer your question, like, I liked it just fine. Like, like I say, it was first time watch. And it's a nice, simple idea, but sometimes the best films and the best creative things are very simple ideas that no one's really thought of it that particular way. It's just a nice twist on a simple idea. So what about yourself? I take it you've seen it before.
I have seen it once before. I'll be honest, I thought the concept itself was good. The whole idea of the Purge and what it was all about. It's different, it's new, so I like that. However, watching it, I found myself probably disliking more of it than I actually liked, because I think I was picking apart a lot of things that were happening, questioning would that actually happen and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe I read into it a bit too much, but overall, I'll get into it in my review, but... The
director has he's done a few other things, but he's only really followed the path of more of these, hasn't he? Yeah. So I haven't seen any of the other ones, but does it go, because they made so much money off this, does it go more high concept and more violence and more craziness as the series goes along?
I think I haven't seen all of them. I think I've seen the second one and maybe a bit of the third. But it's funny you say that, actually, because James DeMonaco actually, straight after making this, he actually said if he got the chance to do a second one with a much bigger budget, he would rather it be outside and it be more like Escape from New York.
Yeah, and I think the idea is that this was made indoors because it's cheaper.
Exactly.
And obviously everyone worked for scale. Even Ethan Hawke, and because Ethan Hawke, I believe, had done something with him once before, and I can't remember what it was, but he'd worked with him together briefly before, and they'd become friends. But very cleverly, Ethan Hawke got a percentage of the profits.
Okay, all right.
So he made like something ridiculous, 10 times more than he would have been if it had gone for a higher wage. So actually, working for his friend worked out really well. In fact, I believe he made more money off this than he has off any of his other films.
Oh wow!
So I think that's really cool, because it's kind of like a thank you almost for doing so well, for the film doing so well. Like it, what was it? I don't know if this is right, but I read it was like 450 million it made, which is insane.
Okay, wow.
Like, I think that's across the world, maybe, I don't know, but
up till now.
Yeah.
I think,
so that's insane.
Yeah, I see that it was received really well at the box office when it came out, and on its opening day, just the first day alone, it made 17 mil, and by the end of the weekend, it was up to like 34 mil, just on those first couple of days of it being out.
Wow.
I mean, considering what it was, a $3 million budget, and it's gone on to make, how much did you say?
I think there is up to like 450 million, and maybe that's the whole. Maybe that's the whole franchise.
Franchise, yeah.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, that's impressive.
The film made nearly 100 million. I think that the original film made nearly 100 off that 3 million. So yeah, it's a big success.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the second one. I can't for the life of me remember it, but
there's a TV series too. Yeah.
There is a TV series. Well, there's 5 in total. So it's this one, then it's Anarchy, then it's Election Year, then the first Purge, and then the Forever Purge. But in between those, I think after the third film, they did 2 seasons of a TV series. I didn't even know that there was a TV series. That kind of slipped by me.
Well, I'm certainly not an expert, and I haven't really been keeping an eye on it at all. But like, it makes sense after watching this, because I do think there's scope for them to go further with things. Like, for example, they kind of touch a little bit on race, and they touch a little bit on class, but they don't really say anything. Like, it doesn't really, like, the points are very just quite simplistic, and nothing, there isn't really any depth there in it. It's essentially all just part of them. They're trapped in a house. That's it. And some people want to get in. Like, that's about it. I was thinking there was going to be a bit more to it with the character that appears, that kind of the instigating character who creates all these problems. So I can understand why they would think they've got loads to go into. They could go crazier and sillier and like almost go sort of Mad Max style with it all, or they could go quite like Jordan Peele and social and discuss the themes of it and the ideas behind it and all that. They could go either way. So, or both. Or they could just do this film over and over again because it did well.
Here's a question. Would you participate in The Purge?
Oh, man. I don't know. Do you know what? Like, I was thinking about that because I'd read about the sort of the idea of how they came up with the idea. And, like, I'd like to think that I wouldn't, and I probably wouldn't. I definitely focus on keeping, like, my friends and family safe.
Yeah.
But I'm quite a petty person. No, I don't know if I am a petty person, but I definitely find it hard to let go of stuff sometimes. But as I've grown older, I've tried to just kind of forgive and move on. So I don't know really whether I would. There's maybe 1 or 2 people who might be in trouble, but I would more likely focus on my nearest and dearest and keep them safe. I don't know. What do you think?
I know there's been a couple of people from my work that have listened to the podcast, so I won't name names.
So them.
I won't name names. No, but all I'll say is there's a certain manager at work that would 100% the second that siren goes off, and I'm sure most of everyone at work would agree if they.
All right. Oh wow. Yeah, I it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because if you're trying to be completely honest, like, there are people who you'd rather never see again, but you want to be the reason for never seeing them again? That's a different question.
Well, apparently it's for the greater good.
yeah, and this is it, and it's like the whole they've rationalized it to the point where it's like almost I think it's quite interesting how it's almost like a national holiday, and it's like saying Merry Christmas is like saying Safe Night to each other, which made me feel a bit like what's the dystopian one, Handmaid's Tale kind of feel to it with things like that. So like, yeah, of course the whole idea is that people are going to watch this and go, oh man, it'd be so cool to kill my boss, or but then obviously the moral compass of the film is the child, isn't he? He's not been corrupted by these things, and he's like doesn't understand it, doesn't like it, doesn't want anything to do with it. So I guess we could all learn from being more like that kid.
I guess it's not just murder that's legal. I mean, it's kind of all crime, including little petty
that's when it gets
crime.
sketchy.
So I guess you could just go out and steal a TV, or just don't pay for your petrol.
Well, this is it. When we had the riots that started in London a few years ago, which everyone's kind of just forgotten all about, and then it went all around the country. And obviously there was the LA riots, which I think this is partly based on. These things happen because of social unrest and then obviously there are some people who are genuinely upset and genuinely angry, and then there's some that just go, "I want a new TV," or without consequences. Obviously, then if all crime is legal, then that is a really sketchy thing in terms of the types of crime that people can go and do. Not saying that murder isn't bad, but obviously there is a whole gamut of crime, isn't there? And I guess it goes down that line as well. Maybe they could, maybe they do discuss this more in the later films, but about things like death penalty and who's for and against it. They'd probably be for the Purge if they were for the death penalty. 'Cause it's not a million miles away from being the same thing, really.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, that's kind of all I've got for pre-spoilers, if you're ready to jump through the plot.
Yeah, let's go.
Sweet. I'll hit that spoiler warning.
Safe night.
Spoiler warning.
Okay, right, so it starts off with some text explaining how a political party called the New Founding Fathers of America, they're voted into office and pass a law which is the Purge. And that is an event where one night a year, all crime is legal with no emergency services. We then meet James Sandin. His company manufactures home security systems. He plans to wait out the purge of his family, and after enabling his security system, the sirens go off indicating that the purge has officially begun. Zoe, his daughter, returns to her room to find her boyfriend Henry had snuck in before the security was engaged to confront her dad about their relationship. But when a man outside is screaming for help, Charlie, his son, disables the security system to let him in. Then James quickly re-engages it, and Henry comes downstairs attempting to shoot James, but fires back, ultimately killing him. Meanwhile, the stranger slips off and disappears into the house. So, yeah, I got some problems already. Firstly, how big is this house to the point where you can just run off, never to be seen again?
Yeah, there's a lot of people disappearing within a second. Like the best, they're like literally like the best hide and seek players that I've ever seen. Some of these people, they just go constantly losing people throughout the film. It's. I've just mentioned as well, like Charlie's the kid from the new Ted TV series as well.
Oh, really? Oh, I've not seen it.
I've not seen it. I've only seen clips of it, but I was like, oh, yeah, it's Charlie. I'm Charlie. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one.
It is.
Why they can just all disappear and reappear so easily, move around. And like the guy who comes in, he just disappears for ages.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It's just... Yeah. And secondly, how did Henry think it would be fine for him to just kill Zoe's dad? Like, she'll be completely fine with that the next day. Like, her dad's out the way so they can happily be together now. Like,
it does feel like a lot of a quick escalation from, I'm just here to talk to your dad. Like, because, he's forbidden us from seeing each other. And she's like, yeah, that's really bad, but, he'll come around. And then the next scene, he's like, blow, 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 like, just shooting at the dad. It didn't come across that this is, like, been a big, long thing. It's just like, your dad said, no, you can't see me. Like, it's all of a sudden... It kind of, they starts all guns blazing. And the dad turns around like proper, you can tell that Ethan Hawke's been in cowboy films, because he turns around and he shoots him like proper cowboy, turning and shooting somebody as they're coming down the stairs.
Pow, pow.
And it's like, and it's just a bit, it's a bit silly.
It is.
It's a bit silly, that one. And like, I don't really even get across the relationship between the characters very well either, because it's like the daughter's a bit like, oh, Dad, you're always doing things like this, and you're thinking, like what? Like, what is he always doing? Always shooting boyfriends, or like he hasn't seen. They seem quite a happy family when they're having their meal, and they're like, there's a really nice scene where they laugh about something, and they're all kind of having a little bit of interplay. And I was like, oh, this is a really good, a good little, relationship between the four of them. It's quite a believable little family unit. And then it's like the daughter hates the dad, and
yeah, I don't know.
Just because that's a thing now that happens in movies.
Yeah. Anyway, we see a gang of masked people on the cameras outside, and the leader says that he wants the guy, otherwise they're going to get in and just kill everyone. Which James then admits that his security system isn't actually that good, and if they want to get in, they will get in.
Oh dear.
The family tie up the stranger, and they plan to give him up, but they suddenly have a change of heart and they choose to protect him and fight back. The gang then break in because time's up, and James kills some of them, but the leader stabs him, ultimately killing him. And then Mary's attacked, but the neighbours come on over and help kill the remaining members, and Zoe actually kills the leader. Yeah, there's a lot of action in that bit.
The leader guy and all that, it reminds me of kind of some of the sort of French extremity films, or even like films like The Others and things like that, where it's that kind of crazy psycho leader, who's kind of wanting to get in. And
he did play that well, though. He has a creepy smile.
Yeah, I think if you stick with that smile,
yeah,
and it fixed to your face, I think it's quite a good move.
The thing is, he looked like his mask. He took his mask off and he looked exactly the same.
Yeah, I looked him up and he's like mainly famous because there's nobody famous in the film other than like Lena Headey and Ethan Hawke. Like the guy who plays polite leader, he's just like a dude from Home and Away.
Really?
He's pretty good. I know he's in the new True Detective series with Jodie Foster. But yeah, it's like he's done pretty. Rhys Wakefield, he was pretty good in it. He's got like a good face for that character, definitely, because he doesn't look like he'd be a bad guy. He looks like he'd be the victim rather than the. Yeah,
he does, and like the way that he killed that guy that was stood next to him, like his friend or something. Like his friend runs up to the camera. He's talking so nicely and calmly, and his friend comes up. You better open the door. Yeah. Bam. Straight away, kills him. He goes, he was my friend. You are not my friend. I was like, oh, damn, okay. He means business.
That would be a problem, wouldn't it? Because, well, not a problem. That probably worked quite well in the cinema. I imagine that got a few people like, woof.
Yeah. There was a couple of moments, that being one of them, but there was a couple of moments where I actually was like, okay, all right, yeah, that was pretty cool. I think the other time was when what's her name? Mary, the mum, like she was walking around the house, and there's
Cersei.
that. Yeah, Cersei. There was oh no, it's Charlie, when Charlie's hiding in the basement, and all of a sudden one of the masked people just kind of like jumps out. It's a bit of a jump scare. It pops out right in front of the camera, but that was really well done.
I did start to switch off a little bit in the last act, if I'm honest. I was with it when they were all in the room together, and when the neighbours got involved and stuff, I was kind of forcing myself to keep watching.
And I'm really trying to think of some positive points, because I'm looking at my notes and it's all negative.
Well, I think Ethan Hawke's good in everything.
He's a
good actor. He adds some depth to his characters even when the writing isn't there.
Well, that's why I was surprised that they killed him off.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe he was just like, I don't want to do any more of these. To his friend, he was like, I don't want to be in the sequel.
Yeah, I'll do one. Yeah,
I'll do one. No you'll just give me, I don't know, let's say a couple of %, whatever it makes. obviously he's in the remake of Assault on Precinct 13, so he's got history of being trapped in places.
Oh, right.
Which I haven't seen. Mainly because the original is one of my favourite John Carpenter films.
Yeah.
It's definitely top 3. So yeah, I literally been looking through my notes as well. It's like people keep disappearing. I guess as well it has some similarities to Night of the Living Dead with people being inside and sort of trapped. The general idea, the general concept of it is a really good idea. It's easy for people to catch hold of and go and watch and like know what they're going to get. And it's influenced by, you know, the way I guess that you could see society go if we're not careful, if we kind of lose our humanity a little bit.
Yeah. What I was getting wound up by was Charlie constantly trying to protect that guy, like help him out, like with his little car and stuff, leading him to his secret hiding place and all that. But I don't know, like, I know he's a kid, but surely he must realise that, you know, there's a gang of killers at the door. They're going to come in and kill you and your whole family. And he is just going above and beyond, just trying to help this guy, protect him, hide him, defend him. He is a total stranger. He's never spoke to him before. I mean, not to sound like a psycho, but I'd have friends that I would sacrifice to protect my family. You're right. Yeah, you know, like, I don't know. Maybe I am a psycho.
No, I think you're right. I think after the initial thing, it makes sense that he would let him in, like, because he cares and he doesn't want this.
I understand.
But then beyond that, once your family are threatened and once you realise what's going to happen, then you just get that guy and kick him out as quick as possible and lock all your doors and stuff. Once you realise, once you realise what's going to happen.
I understand why he let him in initially to begin with. You know, there's a guy who's clearly, you know, screaming for help, and he's a kid. He wants to help him out. And at that point, there wasn't a gang. So I understand from a kid's point of view, oh, we'll help him because that's what a kid would do. But as soon as that gang comes in and says that he's just going to kill everyone, it's like, sorry, mate, you got to go. Oh, that's what I'd do.
Yeah, I think the kid, we're supposed to get that he's like a very humanistic, selfless kid.
But then everyone agrees with him. And they all kind of jump on that. Yeah, all right, let's fight back. Let's protect this stranger who we don't know and fight all these people and the reinforcements that are coming behind them to break down my top security system, which, by the way, broke down very easily.
And just pulled it down, Maybe some of that's down to the fact that, like, the set wasn't fantastic.
All right, now we're pretty much at the end. So James is dead. So Mary starts to thank the neighbours that come round for helping. But Grace, one of the neighbours, the kind of leader neighbour, she reveals that they took the opportunity to kill the Sandins themselves as they hated them for the fact the money they spent on their security systems went on the Sandins upgrades.
What?
Yeah, I know. The neighbours then prepared to kill them, but the strangers... the stranger, whoever his name is, I don't even think he's got a name, he's just a stranger, returns to save the day, but they wait out the rest of the purge, and when Grace attempts to attack Mary, she breaks her nose and smashes her face onto the table, which was fucking awesome. And then the siren goes off, signifying it's the end of the purge. And then Mary pretty much tells everyone to fuck off. So yeah. But yeah, I like the fact it had that twist at the end with the whole neighbours turning on him. But I thought it was really stupid, the reason why they wanted to kill him, because the money that they spent securing their houses from James's company, he put towards his upgrades. I was like, well, yeah, you know.
What do you just want him to spend his money on?
Exactly.
Like what you talk. What if he had a big like sports car? You'd be happier.
Yeah, like it's like me buying a TV off you and then being angry at you because you used that money to get a bigger one.
Yeah.
You know, that's how money works. You buy things and then they buy. I don't know. If you're not happy, yeah, that's enough. I'm going to stop slagging this movie off now.
By the way, one question.
Oh yeah.
The stranger.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think his deal is? It's literally he's just because he was homeless. Those people were killing him. Is that what we're supposed to believe?
Well, yeah, I think that's all that's said, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, that's all. That's
Like,
the only
he's just
information that I noticed.
He's a homeless guy, and they wanted to kill him because they had the right to kill him. That's all I understood from that. Unless there's supposed to be a deeper story. Maybe he
And
did
then
something.
like the last couple of lines are like the television news thing.
Oh, wait a minute. They did say that when they tried to kill him, he killed one of theirs.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But then
Yeah.
still, if there was like 20 of them trying to kill him, he's not going to try and negotiate with them, is he? Like, we still don't quite know. Other than maybe these people are just like, they're just having. Every year they go out and they have fun killing homeless people, which is probably the sort of people that they were trying to be presented as. So I guess that makes sense. And then we get like the little political thing as well, don't we? At the end, which is like, the stock market's doing really well because everyone's buying weapons and security systems. I'm not sure how true that would be. If everyone went and bought a weapon right now, would the American stock market improve? I don't think that's true.
It's like unemployment was like 1% or something.
Yeah, and I suppose it's like a call. It's like people saying about it's essentially like culling people. So it's a different conversation, isn't it? And then like a guy talks about losing his son and he doesn't believe in being an American anymore or whatever. So it's like trying to show both sides of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's mainly so the point of it is, I guess, is what, gun control. But then it's a very violent film with lots of shooting in it, which people will just think is cool.
Yeah. Anyway, should we go to the ratings?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. 1 to 10 legalized crimes. How many are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it 5.5 out of 10. I actually put 5.5% in my book here for some reason. 5.5 out of 10. The 0.5 is because I like Ethan Hawke. Because I used to try and do my hair like Ethan Hawke when he was in Reality Bites, so I used to think he was so cool when I was in my teens.
Oh, okay. All right. That's more than me.
Because I don't think it's a badly made film.
No. It's not badly made. I've got a lot of problems with it.
Yeah, I don't think it's super exciting either.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, all right. I'll say why first, and then I'll tell you what it is, what I'll rate it. So, yeah, I'm sure you can tell from my complaints that I'm not a big fan.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I like the idea. The overall kind of premise was good. It's different, and I like watching different films, like creative ideas, instead of, films that kind of steal others and making God knows how many remakes of decent films. So I give it that. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that I picked apart that I don't think would be legit, and some of the writing could have been better. I spent a lot of time kind of rolling my eyes and thinking a lot of it was quite dumb. So this is going to be my lowest score yet, and it's going to be a 3 out of 10 from me.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll knock mine down to a 5 then. I just didn't want to upset you because I thought you'd like the film.
No.
No, I'll still stick. I don't know, man. 5. I think 5.
5?
I'm going to change mine to a 5. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not locked in yet, so.
Okay. You've got until I hit the trivia warning.
Okay, 5.
Okay, 5.
4.5. No, I'm joking.
All right, let's go to some trivia.
Trivia. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. You mentioned earlier about like the whole idea of this, and I hope I've got this right. But the idea for the Purge came from James DeMonaco's wife, and while they were driving on the freeway, there was a drunk driver that cut them off, nearly killing them. And after both cars stopped, James was so enraged that they actually got into a fist fight, and the police ended up getting involved. But after the incident was over, his wife turned to him and said how great it would be to have 1 free murder a year.
Huh?
Yeah, I'd keep an eye on her, James.
Yeah.
The purpose of the gang's masks was to resemble Halloween masks as a metaphor for the fact that some people see the Purge as a holiday of celebration. Something it's not really a trivia or anything. I just thought it was a bit interesting. Well, I don't know, maybe not. There's 6 sirens when the opening the Purge, and there's 7 sirens when closing the Purge.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, right. Because there is.
Just because.
Because that's how many they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They left the finger on the button for just a couple of seconds too long.
Yeah, it's. I think probably the most interesting thing about the film is how clever Ethan Hawke made lots of money out of it.
Yeah.
I think that's really smart. But I think as well, I don't think he thought of it that way. I mean, he just thought, doing a friend a favour. Somebody posted a review, very short, and they just put, cute idea, horrible execution. I don't think it's that bad.
That wasn't me.
It's horrible execution. Unless they're talking about some of the actual executions in the film. But it doesn't make me want to watch any of the others, I don't think.
Nah. No, I don't think I will.
So the Stranger appears in other films as well, I believe.
Oh, does he?
Yeah? I heard that he's in 3 of the others, or am I completely wrong?
I have no idea.
I thought he was the lead of the other. No.
I will take your word for it.
Let's say he is.
Final one is during the climactic scene where the neighbour begins to purge. One subtle detail makes Grace particularly menacing. She never blinks whilst directly addressing Mary. Psycho.
Yeah, that is a strange one. I have got one piece of trivia.
Go for it.
So, I didn't watch all of the series, but I do know a little bit about it. I watched this episode, so I don't know. I know it's a real thing, but when Jeffrey Dahmer was enticing people back to his apartment and killing them, there was a very young black gentleman called Tracy Edwards who didn't there was a character. I'm not sure if it's Tracy Edwards, but there was definitely a character called a character person. I'm getting confused. But in the Dahmer TV series, somebody tries to escape. The neighbor sees it, calls the police, and that's how he gets arrested.
Yeah.
The first set of police who go discount it because it's like, oh, he just plays it off that it's his boyfriend, and I think there's a sort of a underlying thing there. I'm pretty sure it was because this was a young black person that they just were not interested. The only sort of overt political thing that they put in this is that it's an African American man escaping from being killed by a Caucasian murderer calling for help. So it's kind of similar to that. It's kind of getting you to see that that's. I think this is what some people are saying. This is what some of the things I looked at online that were saying about this. Now, whether that's a bit of a reach and they're trying to find some depth in a film that doesn't have any, I don't know. I did think there was some scope for class and social issues and race and things to be discussed, but I honestly didn't get it in the film at all. I don't know if you did, but I didn't get that from it.
No,
maybe
no,
maybe a bit about class.
Yeah, class. Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Cool. Right. Let's jump into the game.
Play a game.
Okay, right. So this game I've made, I'm going to pin a Blumhouse movie against a non-Blumhouse movie of a similar kind of theme, and you got to guess which has the highest IMDb rating.
Oh, okay.
And no cheating.
I think you can say which ones I like best, because that would be easy.
So let's start off with The Purge against what James DeMonaco wanted to do for the second, which is Escape from New York. Which one would have the higher rating, Purge or Escape from New York?
Oh, Escape from New York.
By quite a bit. 7.1, and this had a 5.7.
Right,
So,
yeah. Fair enough. It's a better film, so it makes sense.
It is a much better film.
Well, then that's just my opinion, so that's not how these things work.
Okay, so a Blumhouse is Paranormal Activity against non-Blumhouse, the Amityville Horror.
Oh, well, I'm still going to go with Amityville Horror, I think.
Ooh, you're wrong.
Oh, man.
But only from a 0.1 of a rating. Paranormal had 6.3, Amityville had 6.2.
Ooh.
Yeah, so very close.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we'll have to do that one. Okay, so Blumhouse Sinister against Lights Out.
So this is the one with Ethan Hawke in it?
It is.
Lights Out. Lights Out.
No.
No, I was just asking. I wasn't making my decision.
What?
So no, the other one.
Sinister.
Lights Out. I don't think I've even seen or even heard of Lights Out.
I've not. I've seen the poster everywhere, but I've not actually seen it. I looked at a little bit of the trailer. It looks pretty good, actually. I might check that one out.
It's another supernatural kind of thing.
Yeah, I think. I thought that one was the one that you were on about earlier. The one that you can't see.
Don't Breathe.
Is it Don't Breathe? Is that
I
the
think
one
it's called with Stephen Lang?
I don't know.
Is that called Don't Breathe?
I've not seen it, but there's one
Stephen
with like
Lang,
is that like
really
a blind
good.
man and they break into his house?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That is a good one, and it's a really good cast, and it's really well done. I believe there is a Don't Breathe 2, which I haven't seen.
Don't Breathe More.
Don't Breathe Again. Breathe Again. He's mad because he looks so vulnerable, yet he's so awesome. So yeah, I don't know if there's a. Yeah, no, I was going to say is there 3, but there's 2. I quite liked the first Don't Breathe. I thought it was good. So it's probably a better film than.
Yeah, I need to check that one out.
The ones we're discussing.
So Blumhouse Insidious against The Conjuring.
Oh, bloody hell. I'm going to say The Conjuring because I think I remember that having quite a good feedback from people. Cool.
Blumhouse is The Invisible Man, the remake, the 2021, against The Invisible Man from 1933.
Ooh, I'm going to go for the Blumhouse one. Oh, man. I just thought that it had a bit of a critical acclaim, but I guess not.
It was good. I mean, they're both in the 7s.
Oh, right. Okay. So,
Yeah. Blumhouse.
I wasn't sure if the first one had drifted lower over time.
Yeah.
Not that people were doing IMDb when it came out.
In 1933.
Yeah. I was on IMDb back in 33.
Yeah, 33 one. That's got a 7.6, and the Blumhouse one has got a 7.1.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so Blumhouse, we did this one. We've done both of these. Blumhouse is Unfriended against Host.
Oh well, Host is better. It's a better film, so it should be. It should have a better rating.
And last up is Blumhouse's Megan against The Boy.
I don't know anything about The Boy, so I'm going to say Megan.
Yeah.
I'm doing well.
Yeah, cool. So that's pretty much it. So let's just wrap this shit up. I think you'll be happy with this for the next episode. So it's a
Halloween 3 again.
No.
Chopping Mall.
They are my two lowest scores in those two that we've done. So yeah, next episode is a classic slasher that I have never seen before, and I've always wanted to. It's been on my radar for a long time, and I've just never got around to watching it. And that is Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, one of my favourite films of all time.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
On my
for that.
YouTube channel, I have just interviewed the gentleman who produced and helped make the Return to Sleepaway Camp, and he also wrote a fantastic book about it, a guy called Jeff Hayes. So yeah, one of my all-time favourite films. Love it.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm really
11
excited
out of
for
10.
that.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah. What year was that? I don't have it down. Was that like 80?
I'm going to guess at 82. I can't quite remember. Let's have a look. It's post Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So
in the height of all the
83,
camp
83.
slashes.
And then
83,
there was
okay.
Sleepaway Camp 2 was in 88, and Sleepaway Camp 3 was in 1989. However, the second and the third have no real link to the original one.
Oh.
And Return to Sleepaway Camp does. However, it didn't quite get made to the way they wanted to, because it was right in the middle of the September the 11th thing. So yeah, it's interesting. It's you can watch the first one just on its own and appreciate it for what it is. For me, it's brilliant. I don't know what you'll think, actually. I'm not super confident that you're going to like it.
Oh, okay.
But then again, you like Friday the 13th.
I do, yeah.
And
I like The Burning as well. That's an early camp slasher.
That's true. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not making any predictions on whether you're going to like it yet. I'm really excited, though, for you to watch it.
Awesome. Yeah, and the only other thing to wrap up is the poll pick, which is pretty much come to an end now, so I think it's safe to say that the winner by quite a long shot is Silent Hill from 2006.
Ooh, I know nothing about that film.
I reckon you will like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think you'll like that. It's good.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is it. So if you're happy, I will lead us out.
Yep.
So if you've liked today's episode and want to hear more, then go ahead and give us a follow on wherever you're listening from. And you can find us on Facebook, because that's where we stick up the poll picks, and you can vote for what we do next. And yeah, that's all for today. So thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Safe night, everyone. Safe night. Safe night to you all.
Safe night.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
This is my boomstick. Here's Johnny.
I have to return some video